What's up, you guys? It's Mary.
And Alma.
You guys to like,
subscribe,
share,
and comment
down below, because today we have a mouthful of a review for you guys. We are reviewing Ready to Love, and it is just in shambles. At this point, this show should be called Ready to Waste Your Time. That's exactly what's happening here. We're going to talk about the men going to meet the women's families, and it's been quite interesting, if I do say so myself. The ladies, but first the women sat down, they had their little ladies bar or whatever the case may be. Kayla says she's having issues with Randall, whatever, because he's not opening up. Jamala said, Randall's the type of guy where you have to get your hands dirty and really put in the work, and she don't mind doing that or whatever. Katie says she still needs Swayze to open up and all this stuff. I don't know why she's wasting her time with Swayze. I just don't understand.
Let's start with them. Let's start with Katie and Swayze.
I want to talk about Mike first.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but Mike, we're going to go in order so I don't mess up.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike and Brandy, they decided to, she is introducing Mike to both of her parents or whatever and stuff like that. He decides to bring a gift for the mom, and I think he brought a gift for the dad, I think. But it seemed like everything went well, whatever, stuff like that. My only issue is with Mike is that he doesn't seem serious. He seems like he will be a cheater, and then also my thing is he's controlling. I don't like that.
And when he said that he doesn't like her job,
which she's a flight attendant.
The way he looked at her as he said that, he looked really mean when he looked at her, because that's where our theme stopped. So it was just paused, like when they froze it, because we're having some internet issues. I just looked at his face. He just looked like in that moment, like I can't stand you or something. And I just feel as though he has the capability of being really mean, and in addition to his controlling ways.
I feel like he doesn't want her to have that job because it gives her the freedom
He's
to leave.
Complaining about your job.
I think my issue is he doesn't want a woman who can be free. He would much rather have a woman who does a 9 to 5. Yeah. I know when you come home, it's very predictable. Well, he knows when she can come and she knows when she leaves.
He has 3 children, so I guess he wants someone home to help him out.
Yes. One, I feel like that's it, but also I feel like it has really about 80% to do with him not to knowing where she is at all times. A flight attendant job is I feel like it can be unpredictable. It is not the typical 9 to 5 where, okay, I know you're leaving at 9, I know you're coming home at 5. Okay, if you come home at 6 o'clock, I know you somewhere where you ain't supposed to be. Yeah. That type of thing. That's what I feel. And I feel like also the whole flight attendant thing, you never really know. She can let you know ahead of time, but sometimes that can change. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he likes that she can actually be free. Yeah. I don't think he wants a woman to be free. He wants a woman who can be underneath his control.
Cheating,
he'll be accusing her of that as well. And it's going to get so bad.
Yeah, I think
it's going to get so bad that he's actually going to start trying to. He doesn't like the job already, but I feel like he's going to maybe start trying to gaslight her and say, "You're cheating on me." This, that, and the third, because why are you working such hours or whatever to get her to quit?
Asks him if he's cheating, if he does some stuff and she accuses him of that legitimately, he'll come up with that to throw in your face that you're a flight attendant and you go from place to place and he don't know where you're at. You may be cheating. I just feel like in that moment, I think Brandy, you should have kept to your standard when you said you didn't want a man with children.
Yeah.
Now, not only do you not want a man with children, now you got a man with 3 kids.
Nightmare. I hate to say it, and then also what I thought was very awesome that the parents were so quickly on board. We riding with him.
So quickly. It gives me that vibe where parents are like,
you need to get married.
She's been through a lot and whatever, and some have been bad decisions. Let her just go be with somebody. That's how I feel with parents. Like
it just seems so odd.
Riding with Mike, I was just like, okay.
I thought it was very odd the way they just kind of gave in.
Agreed so quickly.
Yeah.
To a man with 3 children.
That would have been a red flag. I don't care.
A red flag for me.
Yeah.
That would be a red flag for me.
Even though he has them all with the same mother.
That would be a red flag for me because it's a whole 3 kids.
Yeah, I mean, even though it's one baby mother, I still feel like it's a red flag because Why didn't you make your marriage work?
You have
with three kids.
You have 3 kids.
Red flag.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, you're also just saying so boldly your concerns to the parents.
Yeah.
I would be nervous. And then my thing is, it just seems like he's such a smooth operator.
Yeah.
Like, he's been there, done that.
I know.
He knows what to say. He's also a parent himself. He knows
He's
how
not
to get...
even, and I
This is
don't
like a
even
snake
know.
to me. I don't know.
He's not
I
even
get bad
charming to
vibes.
me. He's not even charming.
No.
But
not
he
at
thinks
all.
he is. That's the funny thing, really. He actually thinks he's smooth and that he's charming.
Yeah.
And I mean, you guys, please tell us if you see a big red flag with Mike.
Yeah. I just thought it was really a mess, if
Well,
we're being
let's talk
honest.
about Mike going to meet Kayla's parents, since we're talking about Mike.
Yes. So, Kayla had Randall and Mike meet her parents.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla's parents, smooth sailing. Love the guy.
Yeah, they did.
I don't know what's going on.
And Kayla was just
3 kids.
teasing. So
And she was so
him.
close to him,
She
just the chemistry.
likes him so much. You're like, And the parents asked him, and he told them he doesn't have any hesitancy with Kayla. Whereas
has
with
no
Brandy,
issue.
He has to give her a lot of reassurance. You know why you have issues with Kayla? Because she's trying to make everything smooth for you so you can pick her. Whereas Brandy, she kind of knows her worth. So it's like, that's why you have to give her reassurance. You have to keep on reassuring her, like, baby, like, I'm good. We're going to be good together. Because you don't want to lose Brandy. That's how I feel. That's why he's going out of his way to reassure her. But with Kayla, she has made herself into this person where Mike doesn't have to reassure her. Like, anything he does is good. She doesn't want to
That's
complain
why he came
or
with
anything
no
like that.
flowers,
Exactly.
no gift, no nothing.
Yeah, because
Did
it's
y'all
like
peep
you
that?
have zero expectations of him, but the fact that he exists.
He's not even cute. I'm just confused.
Not at all. No
What they
charm,
see.
not at all. Controlling. Mean mugging Brandy in that still frame. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what to say. I don't know what it is.
I can't say that Brandy
I
knows
don't
her
know.
worth completely because she settled. Not
Really
just with a
settled.
man with 1 kid, but a man with 3 kids
After you say you don't want a
also
man with kids.
who is also manipulative and also is trying to make Kayla the side chick.
Yes. And you
I
see
can't say
him
she knows her
doing
worth
that.
completely.
That's
I can't
true.
say that.
That is true.
She knows what she wants,
Yeah.
but not even really.
Mm.
She's like this.
That's deep. That's deep.
So that's just
So-
how I feel with the whole thing or whatever. And it's just like, it just seems so easy with, like, Kayla just made everything really easy. I'm sure she was chatting him up so her parents would love him and all this stuff or whatever. But with Randall, they really gave him
Yeah.
a lot of slack or whatever. But the thing is, I thought Randall handled it very well.
Yeah. I felt like he was
He was
honest.
honest.
Yeah,
I felt like he was honest and he was genuine
Yeah.
and everything.
Probably
and I
the
felt
most
like
he has been with Kayla. And he did it in a nice way. Not in that mean way he did it at the restaurants. But I was a
With
little
Jamala.
confused. Kayla. No, at the restaurants with Kayla. Remember Randall at the restaurants with Kayla? When he pretty much told Kayla, like, it's done between them?
yeah.
Remember?
I was shocked that she actually brought Randall. Because I thought
I thought it was over.
Yeah.
How did she not read that room? Clearly.
I don't know.
I was like, huh?
And he even left saying that,
I'm invested in Jamala. Like,
yeah.
what kind of stuff does this girl not understand? I'm sure that's what he's thinking.
My thing is, Kayla, I don't think I can really see the trees from the forest.
I don't think so.
Because my thing is, you're bringing 2 men to meet your parents when really you should have left the Ready to Love experience. Both of these men are fully invested
In
with
women.
2 other women. He is all in with Crazy Jamala, and Mike is
From
all
the
wiped
time
up with
she-
Brandy. You are just there, literally. Like, it's too late for you to actually form a very strong connection with Randall, because he's already solidified it with Jamala.
Yes.
Mike has already solidified it with Brandy when they went on the getaway.
Yeah.
How you did not see it when he was there sleeping in the room with her night after night, packing bags like they were going
That's
on
what I'm
some
saying.
vacation.
From the house.
That should have been over with Mike, and it should have been over with Randall. You should have left
Yeah.
with the other woman, with other women. Like, I just don't know what she's doing there, and
I
she
know.
really thinks that she has some serious connection with these men. it's giving delusional.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that because I really love Kayla,
Yeah.
but it's really giving
Beautiful
delusional.
girl, but
And she doesn't have a clue.
don't have a clue. Or
Not
you have
one
a clue,
clue.
but you refuse to see it. That's where the delusion comes in. Anywho, moving right along. Randall went and met Jamala's mom.
Randall brought
He
nothing.
brought nothing
What?
but himself. And to him that was enough. Gosh darn it, that is enough. I have arrived and I am here. I must not bring shit for them either.
Okay, Randall. But yeah, so they
But
actually.
you know something? Do I rather a man just be himself? No, I rather a man do the extra. Yeah.
Yeah,
I rather you do the
absolutely.
extra. Even if just
Absolutely.
do the extra. Yeah.
Even
I'm not
if
one
you're
of
a
those
great
people who are
guy.
like, you ain't gotta do all that for me.
Yeah.
No.
No, you need to.
I like the extra. So yeah, but he brought nothing. He brought himself.
Him, himself, and that's all he had in the end. That's what I thought.
And there ain't no need to cry,
I took a-
Kayla. It's over.
It's over.
Lord have mercy.
But yeah, so
But
he brought
yeah.
himself or whatever. The mom whipped out a notepad, brought out the questions from the daddy, which I was like, why couldn't the daddy just be there?
Yeah.
Apparently, she's an island girl. I don't know where she's from.
I don't know.
I couldn't really
I
tell.
could hear the island stuff in the mom's voice. Maybe the father is not. But yeah. But she was just cheesing. Jamal was just cheesing.
Just really happy. And then even I thought the sister, she was a little odd.
You
She was
know-
like, well, you need to learn how to curve chicks with my sister.
Yeah, so something.
They are not in a committed relationship.
And then she told him to speak or something, like she gave like a command. Do you guys not know how to talk to human beings? Like, this is not a dog. It's not a pet. She said something. I can't remember what word she used, but it was like a command she gave to him. I mean, to address whatever it is question she had. Kind of like something like speak, but it wasn't speak. It was something she said, and I was just like, huh? Did you all catch that? Like, what is that?
I just felt like,
I mean, if you talk to me that way, I will not answer. I will pretend as though you didn't say anything. And then if you do the command again, I will be like, what is that? Oh, I was telling you to speak, then say that. Don't do no commanding here. Like, I don't see any captain here. I don't see anybody in the army here.
I don't see a pet.
I don't
waiting close
see a
by.
pet either, and I'm certainly not one. Like, you
Yeah.
speak to people like human beings.
Well, Randall has decided that this is the wife, this is the woman that he wants. He wants a woman who will step all over him and tell him what he wants. Free yourself,
yeah,
brother.
that's what Jamala
Um,
will think. You know something? This is what I know for sure. Men never let you do anything that they don't want you to do. They actually don't.
No.
They don't. You might think that you're leading him, but he'll be manipulating you from the side while you stay in delusion that you are doing something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so Jamala, this thing is not going to work, but I don't. Randall is too confused for me.
Yeah, he's very confused. I don't
And
think he
maybe
knows
Jamala
himself.
likes relationships that she can control the person, or she can delude herself that she's controlling the person. But Jamala, you deserve better than to be with someone who you're gonna have to mammy the whole entire time. What you gonna do when you have
She
kids?
doesn't know herself, so I
What you
can't
gonna do
say
when you
what
have
she
kids? You're
deserves.
gonna mammy the kid and the husband. I ain't got time. for
That's
that.
a full-time
That's too
job.
exhausting. It sounds.
But she said she
too
don't mind getting her
exhausting.
hands dirty, Sean. So I don't know. She don't want to free herself, and neither does Randall.
I
It
guess
is what
she
it
wants to
is.
Struggle, but the mom and the sister, they were so happy for her.
They said proceed with caution, whatever that means. Anyway, let's move on to our favorite couple,
Which one is that? Wait.
Sheree and Samson. Sharice and
I thought we
Samson.
were doing that last. Hold on. Did we talk about everybody? Katie and Swayze. We talked Katie and Swayze.
Okay, so
Katie
he
and
let her
Swayze.
meet to her godmother, who she actually has dated the godmother's son.
Yeah.
Odd. I don't know if I'll invite somebody there who I've dated their child.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do that.
It just seems like when they were talking, even when they were talking there with a guest, they were still kind of arguing.
They were arguing, they were very combative and everything and stuff like that, and it just seemed, why is he writing
And you
like
all
that?
might feel like, hey, this is what is it? Oh, it's just her. She's speaking her mind.
She said
It's just
something
both of
odd.
you
She
are
said
just
she wants-
rude. You
she
guys
said-
don't know how to speak to people.
She actually said she actually wants to work through their red flags. I said this before in the very beginning when Kadian was being quite mean to her sisters.
Yeah.
You're not going to find a good love being like that.
Being mean.
And you haven't. You have a man who don't even like black women, who don't even like you.
No.
And you're sitting down there talking about how you want to make it work with a man who don't see a future with you.
He never speaks of the future. As soon as you ask about the future, he clamps up.
It's not because he's guarded. It's because he doesn't see a future with you. When a man actually genuinely wants you, all of that BS he gives as an excuse goes out the window.
Yes.
So, Katie, you're not it, boo. You're actually not it.
You're actually not. You're not. And you're a beautiful woman. You don't need to be wasting your time with somebody called Swayze.
Yes.
You really don't.
But quick
but
spoiler
you need to
alert.
work on your masculine energy.
And you need to work on actually being kinder.
And being a kind person to women.
Yeah.
Okay? If you cannot be kind in your own house, which this is where it goes to. House, I mean with your own gender of people, how are you going to know how to be kind out there with the opposite sex? You ain't going to know.
Yeah.
The home is the training ground. If you can't do that around other women, you're not going to be able to do it around other men, period.
No.
You'll just become more of what you are. Anywho, so that was Katie, and we did Katie.
But they also did go on another date, Katie and Swayze or whatever.
Okay.
And he, again, did not want to talk about anything or whatever. He was shutting her down. He was being rude to her and everything, all this stuff. And she was sitting down there like a dodo bird, still taking it all in and still wanted to work it out.
And then she started talking about sex. Remember she started talking about sex?
She was talking about romance and what do you like what do you want somebody to do for you that's romantic, whatever. He ignored her, so she said, let's talk. Well, she said that, he was like, you asking too many questions. Like, it's too early for all these questions. Well, she was like, well, isn't it too early for us to be having sex? He's like, is there too early for sex? She's like, yes, there is. It is a time where it's too early for sex or whatever, stuff like that. After that, he just got annoyed or whatever, stuff like that. And, of course, it went downhill. Want to be, like, my thing is, in a relationship, this should be the most blissful, the most happiest parts of a relationship. And it's contentious in the beginning.
Yeah.
And you want to work through red flags with a man who has said he doesn't date black women. He don't like you. He don't like you, Katie. Open your eyeballs. You need glasses?
And he doesn't see you in his future.
No.
That's why
he don't even see you next week or next month.
He doesn't see you after the show. He don't see you, okay? You're just a placeholder until he leaves the show. So he's not by himself, or has to leave the show by himself. Oh boy. Well, moving right along to Charisse.
Samson.
I am so...
The cringe is
I think
too much.
Last week we were getting on Charisse, right? This week, Samson, I said so from the very beginning with this man.
You did?
When he said,
I want a woman to pursue me.
I said, I didn't even give a damn how he looked. I was just like, no. This is a no for me. Regardless how he's behaving, even with Shakira, I was like, I keep on reminding people of what this man said.
I know.
Before he even got to the show, that he wanted a woman to pursue him.
Yeah.
And he's 48 years old.
Pushing 50. And you don't want to pursue a woman? You ain't no damn man.
And then he sits there, has the nerve to tell her daddy.
I love a woman who's independent. I love a woman who don't need me for jack. I love that. You ain't no man. You are a little boy in a man's body.
The father saw a kindred spirit because the father is a player too.
No, the father is a degenerate.
And the father
degenerates recognize degenerates.
His daughter. Like, I don't even like to speak about parents and children. But
she's a woman.
This father doesn't really care about his daughter.
And
I mean, he really does. He really does. He really doesn't. And I mean, sorry to say that about your dad, but that's what I saw.
But she knows that. She knows that. That's why she asked him, you will give me away to this man after 4 questions? She knows the father don't care about her.
Yeah.
He is listen, the man is a degenerate and he recognized a fellow degenerate.
Yes.
And he even said he saw Samson in himself, which is a horrible thing. Because Samson's not a good person.
Yeah. And then when they
My phone has
started, when
died.
they were talking, and Sharice, you came in there with came in masculine energy, which I understand at that point because you're just like these people being very foolish.
You're sitting with a man
But
who
you're
has
like-
not protected you and has not been there. And then you're
Exactly.
sitting with another man who also does not even like you.
So she has to exhibit masculine energy because
Well-
they're not.
Well, she has to exhibit it because she has to protect herself. She's not in a place where she can be soft and vulnerable. Because neither one of these
I
men have
protected her.
provided that space for her.
Yeah. And they still wouldn't. And then she starts talking about, let me help you all. Let me help you all. And
Well,
then you
because
want
they
to
were-
address it with a question, and by this time he's telling you, are you okay?
Yeah, because she was talking about how he doesn't want a woman for Jack or whatever. She's like, well, I disagree with that. Because the father was starting to say like, yep, I do
Yeah,
too.
uh-huh.
And then she was like, well, let me help you guys out. Because the thing is, if I don't need you in a relationship, like we both need each other for something, like that don't work, right?
Do you know
It's not
something?
about that.
You know something,
It's-
Sharice? No woman ever has to help a man to understand shit. That's what we gotta understand.
That part, my sister.
As soon as you get with a relationship, this is how you know it's time for you to go. And you have to start teaching
And she
the man.
been new though. She been new
You have to start
from that time at the
instructing
doctor's
them.
office.
You have to start helping them. No, but in the doctor's office, she wasn't listening. Full on masculine energy. I mean, I am not going to. That happened. We saw it with our full eyes.
But also Samson
But
has never been serious.
He's this is struggle love with him. He's 48 years old, don't want to do shit for anybody. He's a selfish person. He's selfish. He's narcissistic, might have some narcissistic tendencies. And then on top of that, this man is a life coach mentor.
Who you mentoring, Samson? I want to know the group so I can tell him to run away.
Another degenerate man like himself. Because I don't know who is listening to Samson. But you know, even in that moment when you saw Sharice being like upset, he could have just been like, you know, like held her hand
Yeah.
or something. But he doesn't like you, Sharice. This
Not even
man,
as a person.
he doesn't even like you, you know? So already he's like, oh, there goes Sharice again with her mean mug. And
Yeah.
then when you go to, the kicker, when Samson says something about Sharice, the father comes in to let him know that, yes, Sharice is difficult. You see, remember I was saying when we were talking about Sharice and the issue she
Yeah.
had, I said the issue with Sharice goes back to childhood.
Yeah.
There's some issue with that male who was supposed to be a male authority in her life, a male figure, protective figure in her life, that probably is not there. And so that's how she has to now exude this masculine energy because she's had to take care of herself all this time.
Yeah.
And it was sad that the mother couldn't come. She was not well, you know. But
The mother didn't even FaceTime in. So I don't think
couldn't,
she has
you know,
a good relationship with her mother either.
well, I wonder. Well, the other thing I'm thinking, maybe the mother was really, you know, there's sometimes like when I get ill, I'm in bed, I don't want to really see anybody and stuff like that. So that could have been fine. But when they met again, well, first let's talk about when the women met in the lounge, and let's talk about these women who did not even do the woman code. You get into the lounge, and who were they? Brandy, and what was the other girl's name? Kadian.
yeah.
You guys are there telling Sharice things.
Well,
that you
she was,
shouldn't have
as soon as
told
she
her.
was crying and she was down and low,
And you know
that's
she
when they
started to
decided.
cry? What was sad? When she started to cry.
She said she
was
just wants somebody to see her.
to see her. As soon as she said that, she started to cry. Which leads me to believe that she didn't get that from the parents.
Yeah.
Someone who saw her, you know? And she didn't get that all from one parent. She probably didn't get that when she was in school, you know? And so there's that energy, there's that trauma from childhood that she still carries, you know, and that's why it's still painful to her. So it's now that she's crying that these two women decide,
Let's kill her when she's low.
well,
Let me
this is
just-
what we'll
let me
kick,
just kick
what
her
we'll
down.
just kick her off the cliff then. And decide to tell her, oh, by the way,
Samson
be
told me I
calling
was the only
that
one
I was the
for
only
him. He
one.
told me this, girl. He told
You know,
me that,
he be
girl.
calling me. You know, if that was a man, you better believe those men would have already told that guy
The day after.
As soon as it happened.
Yeah.
And you girls did not tell her anything. You waited when she cried. I mean, we're at the latter phase now. What's the point?
Well, let's
telling
be
her now?
honest though. Nobody really liked Sheree. Sharice was kind of mean. So nobody
Okay,
was
I
really
can
trying
see
to
she
help
got
her.
into with Kadian. But how about Brandy? How about that?
Well, I don't think Brandy has really liked her either, just from what she's seen. So I mean, I can give them a little grace for that, but I don't think it's right that you do it when she's crying now.
Women code. Like, you guys, I'm not
It's
going to give them grace.
non-existent.
It was wrong. It was. You guys could have told her. But anyhow, you tell her now, so she wants to go and confront Samson.
Well,
and
they
try to
basically
figure
gave
out.
him. Well, what happened was they said we have to decide what man goes home. So really, it was between Kadian's guy and Sharice's guy, which I feel like Swayze needs to go. Kadian, you need to let that go.
Yeah.
But Sharice said, I'm going to talk to him and see if he will stay. I want to see if he'll be serious.
Yeah.
And child, that man was grubbing. He came with
That man
slacks.
came for you like he had guns. He came for you. That's how I feel, because he was already saying, I knew they had their meeting.
So
the
I'm
fact that
either
she
I'm not
called
ready to
me-
love
Yes.
or whatever. So
he
here I
came.
am.
Here he was, and surely here he was. And when she's trying to talk to you and just tell you like she.
Well, this is what the lady said, whatever, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And she
He
said,
could've
that was
just-
a shock to me because, I mean,
I
I
am
am
the
the
one.
only one that you're interested in, right? He goes like, he scratched his neck or
He's
whatever.
like-
And he said, well, the thing is, he completely ignores the question. My thing is, if I had sat down there and listened to the men, you would have been gone.
You talking
You would have been
about
gone.
chatter. And like, how dare her talk about chatter? This is not chatter. This is something that they disclose.
Yes. But
How
he
dare you talk
said,
about chatter? If I had been listening to chatter,
you would have been gone because Zoe said you were fake as hell. Mike said you was mean. Even your daddy said you was a challenge. But I welcomed it.
Oh,
That was a day ago. You welcomed the challenge. This is you welcoming the challenge the day after.
Yeah.
Really?
So you looked at her as
I don't
as
know
a
what job
challenge?
this man has,
He's a
but he
life
needs
coach
to be
mentor.
fired.
He's a life coach
Fired.
mentor.
Who are you coaching in life?
Somebody.
You coaching
Well, that's
somebody
what he
straight
does.
to hell?
Well, that's
Sure is.
No, that's what he do. He make a living from it because he's a life coach mentor. But he surely was not showing her any grace. He was certainly not
He
giving
was
her
there
any
eating
life.
his steak, y'all. He was cutting it up. He was like, man, if I told you what they've been telling you. He
And so-
actually seemed to look uncivilized as the date was going on.
And then she's
And then
like,
she
blah,
said,
blah,
well, the
blah,
thing
blah.
is, it don't even matter, Samson,
matter.
because you don't even like me or
you
whatever.
say these mean things to me.
And
How
then
do
it's, you
think
are
that
not
makes-
even,
look,
you're not even ready to love. He
Look,
said, you're not ready to love.
She said, do you think that makes me feel? And he didn't care. So by the time you say you're not ready to love, he was right
Well,
there
he
with
said
you.
then he said, well, if you weren't if you weren't trying to see this through, why'd you invite me and your daddy out?
And
You
we
wasted
saw our
everybody's time. He said, well, don't you think my time was wasted or whatever? He said, my time was wasted or whatever. And she said, well, you wasted my time. That's why you are not ready to love. And he said, you're not ready to love. And then he said, okay, then goodbye or whatever.
Why you
and she,
still
why you
sitting
still
here
sitting here?
still? Like,
and then she
you
was
so
like, well, I'll
consistent.
leave when I want to leave. He said, okay.
And
And
then
he
she
said,
got
God
up.
bless. Oh my God, I'm so hungry.
He was just
He was so
degenerate. Like, he was ignorant. That's what it was. He was
Ignorance with a G-N-A-N-C.
I cannot say I'm surprised. And for one time, he came with sweats. So he came not to do, like, he
Not
wasn't
a
trying to
damn
impress
thing.
nobody.
He
Like,
went there,
I'm
got
going
his food, and
And probably got his kicks from trying to insult her. But and then had the nerve to go on TV to talk about, it looked like I dodged a bullet.
well, he said he's been challenged with stupidity. And how, the thing is, I'm gonna find my person one day. But he gonna come, tick, tick, tock, tock, boom, boom, God bless.
So ignorant, I swear.
That was some crazy-ish.
And then she's like, he is there pushing 50. Did you know that from the beginning? Cherise. And this is why I always say, don't give men chances, man.
Yeah.
When you meet someone one time and you did not like them, because she wasn't checking for Samson when she first.
Well, she had no
She
connections.
was checking for Mike.
Yeah.
She was checking for Mike, but Mike is like her type. But then
Yeah.
Mike found her to be rude
And me.
and mean. You know what I'm saying? And he was
And
not.
there can only be one person in like who's like that in that relationship, and that is Mike.
Who what?
There can only be one person in that type of relationship when it comes to Mike, and that is himself.
Oh.
He can only be the mean and the rude one and the controlling one.
Yeah.
He can't have a woman do that to
Oh,
him.
I see
Because
what
he
you're
needs
saying.
to be able to put his control onto her.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So it is
It
what
was
it
sad.
is.
At the
I'm
end of the
glad
day, it was
Sheree
sad.
finally
you both.
dropped that hot potato because he
Yeah.
was a mess.
Yeah.
He wasn't really about nothing. I'm like,
Yeah.
what I need to know where his next seminar going to be because somebody need to call him out for fraudulent behavior. But yes, you guys.
Will not be me. Don't have the energy to waste to go see somebody who we already know is a degenerate.
I'm in Africa anyway. I would just suggest
We got time. Oh no, we don't have our time.
No.
Oh, that look. Yeah, okay, we make international calls. Anywho.
It is Mary.
And
Be much just a like,
subscribe,
share,
man. Comment. Just let us know.
what you thought.
Were you surprised by how Samson acted,
or
were
did you see it coming all along?
like me? The first time he came there and said he wanted a woman to pursue him, already saw the writing on the wall. Do you think it was fair the way Cherie's father wasn't really there for her? You know, and what do you make of that relationship? You know, and Cadian, do you think the Swayze and her? Do you think he's into Cadian at all? Because we surely don't.
Yeah.
And yeah, so just let us know.
Yes, y'all.